Should be live now.
We're live now? All right. We're live now. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go live and talk about private lenders. This is by far the #1 issue that I see when I'm talking to new potential investors. So put yourself in this space. Have you ever come across a house, a deal that got sent your way, and you're like, if I had the money to buy that deal, I could have made X dollars? Put it in the chat box. I know this is the first time I'm going live in a while. I'm going to start to pretty much go live every Thursday, 11 o'clock Central, and cover big hitting topics that can move the needle for you. But have you ever been sent a deal that you could have made a lot of money on, but you didn't have the funding lined up? Or have you ever driven by a house that needed work and a fixture upper? Like, if I had the money, I could have made X amount of money. How much money do you think you have potentially lost because you don't have funding lined up? I want to know. Put it in the chat box. How much money do you think you've lost? And just so you know, I'm going to talk about private lenders, give you some best practices, give you some pitches, and then I'm also going to give you an additional free training source that talks about finding private lenders. It's all free. So yeah, some people saying they're haven't been able to get deals because they don't have the funding lined up. So you have that side. How many tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars have you missed out on because you didn't have funding lined up? Imagine being able to go offer on properties and go see houses and knowing that you're able to offer non-contingent cash offers. How amazing would that be? So I want you to start to think about those type of things as far as like, what could I be doing if I had money? Because I'm going to tell you how to find money here today. Now, you're not going to leave this live with this kind of moron with the weird mustache and glasses who just got his hair cut at Sports Clips. You're not going to be able to leave this live and be like, all right, I'm rich tomorrow, I have a lending lineup tomorrow. What I am going to do is I'm going to explain fully what a private lender is. I'm going to give you some tips to find them, tips to cultivate them, and then I'm going to give you the 4-pillar pitch to close them. And if you've had the right conversations with the right people, that 4-pillar pitch will get the job done and get you some funding. So again, let me know where you're from if you're watching. If you're watching the recording, I would appreciate any interaction as well. That helps push this a little bit. And if you're watching live, thank you for being here. Again, every Thursday going forward at 11 Central, I'm going to start to go live, so 12 Eastern, and cover big topics that will actually help you and give you resources every single time. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not. I guess I should introduce myself and let's get the ball rolling. For those that don't know, my name is St. Prim. I own about $50 million worth of real estate that I bought using none of my own money. I have raised about $60 million from private lenders over the past several years. So I know how to get private lenders money. I know how to help you get that. So I own $50 million in rentals I bought using none of my own money. Single family rentals, apartment complexes, self-storage, and a hotel. And then I also own a flipping company here in St. Louis that we buy about 200 to 250 houses a year, wholesale flip, keep some as rentals obviously. And then I have this education platform, FasterFreedom, where I teach people how to do it. So I have these things that you don't have to register for, that you don't have to pay money for, like my YouTube, the FasterFreedom Show podcast. It's a podcast on the YouTube channel. So check it on the podcast platforms as well, and webinars and free trainings that I give away. Then I have things that you can register for and you can apply for, but we don't need to get into those right now. So that's a little bit about me. Promise I'm qualified up here. If you're looking at following someone, there's 3 things you need to look. You need to say, are they actively doing what they're teaching right now? Are they doing it at volume? And is their systems or what they're teaching transferable? Like in what I'm telling you, does this only work in St. Louis, Missouri, or can anybody implement this in any market? So those are the 3 things that I look at when I look to follow somebody. Are they active? What kind of volume are they doing? And are their systems transferable? I think you'll know the answer to that here in a minute. All right, so private money lenders. I want you to visualize a private money lender in your mind. You shouldn't be driving because you're watching, so assuming you're not driving, visualize what a private money lender is in your mind. Go through what they look like, their age, who they're dressed like, how much money's in their bank account, and I promise you, if you're not a real estate investor, if you've never found a private money lender, you're wrong. You're not right. You don't know what a private lender is. If you don't have a private lender and you've tried, it's because you don't know what a private money lender is. If I want to go find a baseball, I'm not going to go to a golf course. I'm going to go to a baseball field. You have to go to the right place. Wow, that was a bad analogy. But anyways, you have to go to the right place and ask the right questions to the right people The beautiful thing about private money lenders is every single person on here knows a private money lender. I promise you do. Just because you haven't had the right conversation with the right tonality and the right framing with the right, presentation, that's on you. That's not on the system. There's more money out there than deals. All right, I feel like that was enough stalling. I was trying to get a few more people on, but give information as we go. All right, so let's talk about, what we're going to talk about is what is a private lender right now. Who are actual private lenders. So for those that don't know what a private lender is somebody that lends you money on a short-term basis to buy and repair distressed properties. That's the whole magic of real estate investing, is finding distressed properties and being able to execute them. And banks won't lend you money on a distressed property. A lot of people say, why don't you just go to the bank to lend you money on that fixer-upper? Because banks won't. They don't want anything to do with that. So if you don't have your own cash, how are you going to buy that asset that you drove by that you couldn't access because you didn't have money, or that deal that got sent your way that you couldn't close on because you didn't have money? Private money lenders are the key. So that's kind of what they are and why they exist. Now, who are private money lenders? So let's go through your typical avatar of a private money lender, and I think this is going to help change your mind and your mindset on what it is. And again, let's be realistic here, people. You're not going to find a private lender. You're not going to get money from a private money lender tomorrow, but I'm very confident that if you watch this, especially if you get the free training that I'm going to give you here in a few minutes, if you get all that and you start to frame things correctly, you will find a private money lender in the next few months, okay? But you got to put in the effort. All right, let's frame what an avatar of a typical private money lender is, and then we'll talk about some kind of variances beyond that. So your typical private money lender is going to be someone in their late 40s, early, I know my writing sucks, you're just going to have to use that, early 50s. So do you know anybody in their late 40s or early 50s that has a W-2 job? They're not somebody that's ultra wealthy, they're somebody in their 40s and 50s that has a W-2 job. And they've lived at the same house for maybe 20-ish years. So do you know anybody that's in their 40s and 50s that's lived at the same house for the past 15 or 20 years that has a W-2 job? I know you do. So check, okay? So that's part of the avatar we're looking for. Now, what we're looking for is somebody that probably has, I don't know, probably less than 100K in the bank. You're not going after these people with millions of dollars in the banks. Most private lenders aren't lending you cash, because most people don't have cash, especially in this criteria, but this is the criteria of your private money lender. So less than 100K in the bank, that's who you're looking for. And you're also looking for conservative, not politics, conservative investors. So somebody that has been contributing to a 401k that their employee matches, that they've had the same job for the past 50, 20 years while their kids are in high school, and they've lived in the same house. Somebody that maxes out their IRA every single year, that potentially has CDs investing, and maybe like a money market account. They're not into crypto, I promise. And maybe even, just general stocks. So you're looking for somebody that's in their late 40s, early 50s, good job, stable household, kids are getting ready to go to college, they're seeing retirement in the next 10 to 15 years, and this is their retirement plan. 401k, IRA, CDs, money market account, and stocks. And they're probably thinking, I would like another diversified wing to be even more secure in my retirement funds. And that's where you come in. The next thing, that's where you are. You are their diversified retirement fund. That's how you need to approach it with these people. Not, hey, give me your entire IRA, your entire CD, and pull out all of your stocks. I want all of your money. That's not the approach. That's going to scare them, and you don't need that, and they don't need that. You're asking them to diversify. They have a retirement fund of, these types of, they got money here, money here, money here, money here, money here, all over. You're asking for a sliver of their retirement fund to diversify them further. They can self-direct an IRA and give you money tax deferred. They can borrow against a 401k and give you money at an extremely low rate. They can pull out a home equity line of credit and pull it out at 7%, lend it to you at 12% and make that 5% spread. They can have a CD maturing that they can lend you. They can pull money out of a money market account because everybody knows the stock market's overpriced right now. So that's the approach. Normal, everyday people that you're looking to diversify their retirement funds and looking to diversify what they do to a certain level. And it's going to take several conversations and it's going to take several pitches, and that's what I'm going to get ready to get into. So does that change your mind at all? And you can be stubborn and say no, or honest, or you can look and self-reflect that yes, I've been looking. I said, I don't know a rich person. I don't have any rich parents. I don't have any rich friends. I don't know anybody with millions of dollars. You don't need to. That's not your typical private money lender. My private money lender's insurance agent, engineer, architect, police officer, teacher, sales manager, some entrepreneurs, some retired folks. So like, it's just the normal middle class, upper, whatever you want to call it. They're not the ultra wealthy, I guess. Obviously it's not the lower class, but it's not the upper wealthy. It's that middle, upper middle class. So I know you know some of those people, and you just got to get good at interacting with them and framing. And you got to tell people that you invest in real estate. If you say, hey, did you know that I invest in real estate? Give me money. That's not the best approach. It starts with letting people know, hey, I invest in real estate. Hey, I looked at this deal, it didn't work out. Hey, this deal did work out. I've done a wholesale. Whatever you've done or haven't done, start talking about it so people start to know, hey, Jim, Jenny, whatever the hell your name is, they invest in real estate. They're taking it serious. So that's a good way to put it. Now, there are scripts that I give to my students of like, here's texts you can send people to kind of poke them to see if they're ready to invest, whether you've done a deal or not. Here's some emails you can send to start a conversation. Here's a presentation you can send. Here's a Facebook post you can legally post to try to raise money. So those are the types of things you get when you're inside my community, but let's go over as much as I can here for you now. So in general, you're going to get to know people and start conversations. Most private lenders are going to be your parent's boss or your friend's buddy or whatever. They're not, again, they're not the ultra rich. They're just a connection. So they're investing in you to diversify in real estate. They're not doing you a favor. They're making a great return. When I go over my pitch here in a minute, you'll see you're giving them the best return. The best investment they will ever make is in you in real estate. You're going to offer more security and more return than anything they've ever done. So you're doing them a favor. Not that you need to approach them in a cocky way, but you're doing them a favor more than they're doing you a favor. So you need to have several conversations with people. Open up with some conversations of, hey, you're an investor or getting in the space, and what you're doing is looking to, get a lender to bring you money and give a fixed return to kind of conversation with people. And once you talk to them, there are a few things that I would say when you're having like your first meeting. And this meeting can be at a bar over drinks, coffee, breakfast, lunch, your office, their house, whatever it is. I've had meetings at all of those places. But this is kind of what you need to initially start with to kind of move the needle. So bring a business plan. Now, it does not have to be this elaborate, binded, laminated, 20-page document. 1 page, where you are now, what your goals are, how you're going to get there, and then a little bit about your experience. That's fine. 1 pager, make it on Word, it's fine. Having that will show them you're serious. So having a business plan is key. Have an agenda for the meeting. You can have fun with this. I'm not kidding. With my private lenders, we've had meetings, especially when we had a little bit more time and weren't doing all this other crazy shit I'm doing. But we had meetings where we would go to meet with a private lender, and on the agenda it would be have a celebratory drink because the deal we just closed, or whatever it would be. Cheers, like have fun, cheers. Go over the latest deal, go over future deals, talk about the market and get your taste on how much more you want to do it. Just something simple. 1 page business plan, 1 page agenda. Just bring it so they know you're serious and that you're treating this as a business. That will get them more likely to lend you money. Now what you're talking through, and then part of your presentation, I guess, this is kind of all part of your presentation, is example deals. If you've done a real deal, great. If there's a fictitious deal out there, that's fine. So this is the types of deals I'm looking to borrow money on. This property needs, I buy houses just like this one for 180 grand. That's what this one is for. It needs 30 grand, so I would borrow 220,000 from you to be safe. 180 plus 30 plus fluff. 2,020 from you to be safe, and then I would try to get you your money back in 6 months. I would get your money back by selling the property or refinancing, either way, some type of transaction, and then you get them their money back, and their 220 plus whatever interest you decide on, probably that 8 to 12% annualized. You can do all the math. We're not going to do that right now. Throw it in a calculator, super simple, and say this is what your return would be, so then they can visualize. So I give you 220. And you give me back, in this example, 232,000 in 6 months. That's pretty good. I just made, they'll do the math, that's whatever percent return, whatever that looks like. So just start for them to see the deals. If you have done real deals with lenders, show them those. That would be great. And then at the end, you're going to do your CTA and your pitch. So this is the kind of reason you're here. So before I give you this, or no, let's wait till the end. Make sure you're we have the FasterFreedom shows where you're here. It's on YouTube. We're live. I do have a podcast, the FasterFreedom Show, that doesn't go on YouTube. So you're here, great. Make sure you're subscribed, follow, notification bell so you get notified when I go live, and I can interact and answer questions. But then also, make sure you're listening to the show in the car, on the way to work, at the gym, mowing the grass, whatever. So it's on podcast platforms as well, all of them. It's the FasterFreedom Show. So make sure you're checking us out, and if you give a review and a rating, that would really help us. It really does. All right, so we talked about all that. Let's go over the 4-pillar pitch. Sorry, I'm a little low on the energy today. I definitely have some type of summer cold. Those when you're like up at night and like you're sleeping and you're kind of dozing, get to pee, whatever, and you're like, oh, my throat is like throbbing. I'm not gonna be able to talk tomorrow. That's what I'm going through. Just ickiness. So yeah, that's why I'm not super energetic and probably not talking as loud as I usually do, because my throat feels like it is needles. All right, so the very first part of your 4-pillar pitch is going to be the most important, and you may not want to do it, you don't have to do it, but I think you should. And that is your personal guarantee. So you're asking somebody for 220 grand, like I said earlier. But you and I did at first, and I think occasionally do, I don't even know, but I used to personally guarantee their return. Their stock market sure as shit ain't personally guaranteeing anything. Neither is their 401k, neither is their IRA. Now they're, over the long haul they're gonna make money, but there's no personal guarantee of a return. A lot of people say, what is their collateral? Where is your skin in the game? Well, the collateral is the property they're lending on. They'll have rights to that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you're putting your personal assets on the line. So just because you're not giving them cash, you're guaranteeing their return. Huge. Some people don't want to do it. I get it. May not get a lender though. We've done it a lot. Personally guarantee. That's the number one most impactful thing you can tell them. The second thing is a promissory note. So this is just kind of a legal document. It's not filed anywhere, but it's a legal document between your LLC, because you're going to buy it in an LLC. If you want help with that, I can help you. You're going to file with an LLC, and your LLC and them, or their LLC, however they're lending you the money, there's a promissory note that lays out the terms. This date, this time, this is the example, this is what a little bit of a legal button up. So that's simple. I think you're going to want to do that. Promissory note. All right. The third is going to be insurance. You're going to add them on the insurance policy as an additional insured. It doesn't cost you any money. When you get the insurance set up, you just tell them, hey, this is the additional insured. Adds them the certificate. It just gives them insurable rights to the property in case it burns down. The check goes to them. I mean, they have rights to that check, so you can't just take the check and run, because the house is now gone. So and list them as additional insured. So as you can see, incredible security for them. Incredible buttoning up for them, incredible security for them. You're giving them a very secured, can't really say guaranteed, maybe you can, whatever, depends how close you are with them, return. They don't get that anywhere else. And then the fourth is you can allow them to be on the deed of trust or lien on the property, however you want to put it. I always spell lien wrong, is that right? Is it I-N or E-I? I think I spelled it right, whatever. Lien on the property. So this means they have foreclosable rights. If something happens and you don't pay, you get hit by a bus, whatever, they have ownership rights to that property and a lien on the property that obviously goes away once you pay them their money back. But that is filed with the county or the city or whatever, wherever your rules are where you're at. So again, assuming you're having the right conversations, setting the right expectations, you're coming with a business plan, you're giving them an agenda, you're giving them some example deals, you're giving them this pitch, you're gonna get the money. And if you don't, the next time you're gonna get the money. I guarantee you do this enough, you will eventually get somebody to give you the money. Now, if you want a little bit further details on how to raise money and mix in some like hard money sources and some lines of credit sources and talk a little bit more about like a whole matrix approach to funding, go to freefundingwebinar.com. I think it's in the description, but if it's not, it's very, very simple. It's www.freefunding, I'm trying to write neat, this is nice, as neat as I can write, webinar.com. All right, freefundingwebinar.com. I think it's in the description. It's free, it's ungated. I'm the only one in this industry that does this. It's a legitimate training and you get it for free. I don't collect your phone number or your email address. And obviously, during the training or after the training, there's a spot for you to say, yes, Sam, I'd like you to train me and coach me. Here's my information. Let's set up a call with your team and see if we can become a part of your program that does this with the scripts and the systems and the processes and the coaching calls and the second set of eyes and the mistake avoidance procedures. That's an option. This is free though. That is an option if you want it. Now obviously the most successful people I know do that kinds of things and pay to learn, but you don't have to. You can try it on your own. I always say you pay for education either way, through inefficiencies and inaction or through paying somebody else to learn their path. So that is up to you. But a free funding webinar, regardless of how you are, where your mindset is, it's free, no strings attached. All right, so that's my private lender pitch. What are we looking at time-wise? Nice, that was a pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so don't have actually the Q&A part up, so throw the questions. I will answer them after, but going forward, I will be answering questions. This is our first run at this. We got my office up we're in my office with kind of a new computer up and a screen for me to see myself, but no questions. So we'll get that lined up here in a minute. Maybe I can pull up some questions. Don't go anywhere yet. A lot. Nathalie says a lot. Nice. All right, so rockin' viewership. Love it. All right, so hopefully this helped. If it did, great. Share this with a friend. Share this with a private lender maybe, or share this with a friend that you want to invest with. Every Thursday at 11 Central, I'll be going live going forward. Next Thursday, 4th of July, so I won't be. Next Thursday, I'll be in Florida. Anyways, we're going to start to get this on a routine. Thanks for being here. Appreciate y'all.